Museum of Menstruation by Susan Nguyen. My aunt didn't understand how tampons worked. She was worried one would take my cousin's virginity. When she and my mother were growing up, they used cotton rags and strips of linen folded over their underwear. These were left in a bucket overnight and scrubbed the next morning. The rose water puckered their skin, peeled their fingers. The morning I got my period, my mother did not believe me. She turned over and fell back asleep. I used rolled up toilet paper for weeks until one day in 6th grade my blood left a quarter-size stain, a wetness on my fingers. In the 1980s, menstruation mystified NASA engineers. They asked Sally Ride if 100 tampons would be enough for a week in space. During press conferences, she fielded questions about how being weightless in orbit would affect her reproductive organs and if she wept every time her uterine walls shed its inner linings. Menstruation remained a mystery to me for over half a decade. I'd lock myself in the bathroom for hours and read the paper instructions that come with every box of tampons, still unsure how and where to insert one. My aunt's fear was misplaced. I lost my virginity to a real flesh and bone boy before any bullet of absorbent cotton or synthetic fibers ever entered my body. I was drunk and on my period. It was on the floor of a stranger's living room and it was dark. No one saw the blood on the carpet until next morning. One of my first times was in the woods, squatted against a tree. My friends and I were on the way to meet some older boys at the falls and I inserted the plastic applicator with vigor. In high school, all the girls spoke in whispers, in code. Shark Week, Crimson Wave, Blood Diamond, Ant Flow. Years later, I snuck tampons up my sleeve or beneath my bra's underwire before walking past all the men in my office. The gynecologist tells me I have too much estrogen. That is why I bleed so much so frequently, often twice a month. When I tell the 31-year-old I'm sleeping with that I'm bleeding, he tells me he doesn't care. I make him cover his face with a pillow while I tug at the knot between my legs until I feel it give way. My body letting go. Kite string, lucky rabbit's foot.